I want to go back to your personal story. We mentioned in the introduction that it was 2015 that you left a pretty cushy job to work with Brian at Ketovangelist.
Yeah.
You and I were talking a little bit offline about Brian, and I'm so grateful for him and his work while he was in it, as being one of the flag bearers, I would say, of
Mhm.
keto, and not many people were talking about it. He was a
Right.
huge source of hosting people on his podcast that I got introduced to, and could learn their information and share their information. For you personally, what was it like to quit what you were doing before and start working with him?
Scary as hell. It was really scary. So I was working for a large global bank. I was managing salespeople around the country. I had huge numbers to hit. And I was always feeling like the axe was going to drop any day. Like in corporate America, when everybody's job security is based on a stock price, it's not a very comfortable way to live. And I got fulfillment out of the relationships that I formed with the bankers that I was managing, with the customers that I was helping. But there was always this underlying drive of mine to get out and find something that I could really invest myself in, knowing that my success would be dependent on my efforts. In corporate America, that's not necessarily the case. Your efforts don't always lead to success. So what happened was I was in the Ketovangelist Facebook group, and Brian posted something for looking for a program manager. Program manager. And I was in the Facebook group because I was doing keto, and I always liked having like other people to talk to about what they were doing. And I saw the post, and I was like, I have no idea what he's looking for, or even if I have the skill set to do something like this, but I'm going to talk to him. So Brian and I scheduled a call, and then about a week later, we got on the phone and we talked for at least an hour, and we hit it off right away. And we agreed to connect again a week or so later. And I went to my husband and I said, there's something here. I really feel like I need to do it. I've got to figure out a way, but he can't pay me. So
Kind of a minor detail.
are you nuts? You're going to quit your job and not get paid? So we agreed that I would try it for a year. And about a month after Brian and I came to an agreement, I resigned from my job and started working with him. And there was no KetoCon at the time. And we decided we were going to do a live event. I had never planned an event before. The only thing I had done in the banking industry is I had been a speaker. I had been part of teams that were like part of financial services events. So we were exhibitors or sponsors. So I backed into it from that experience. So what would the speaker expect? What would the attendee expect? And what would the sponsor expect? And we just started from there. And we did the first KetoCon in 2017, which was a big success. And we were so excited with the whole process and how well it turned out that we decided to do 2018. Then we scheduled for 2019. And that was our largest event. We had about 3,000 people there and over 100 vendors. And then February 2020 happened. So here we are again in 2023. And it looks like we have a chance of getting back to pre-pandemic attendance this year.
Amazing.
So as long as the tickets continue to sell at the same pace that they're selling now, we're going to have a really large event, and we're super excited about it. Even if it's not 3,000 people, the people who have purchased tickets this year have purchased tickets for this event, not for an event that happened 2 years ago or was supposed to happen 2 years ago. So and based on who has shown interest in sponsoring the event and who has shown interest in speaking at the event, supporting us, I think this is going to be the best event we've done.
I cannot wait. So I've now attended, I don't know, 3 or 4 different conferences, enough to know that they're different. Each one has a different vibe, a different personality, a different goal. You
Sure.
see ones that are done online, and Christina Hess doing the Keto Symposium in New York City is different than us. It's different than Boca. It's different than, here in Salt Lake City, Keto Salt Lake. And so what is your goal? What like your mission of who do you want to be there? What's the vibe you want to create? Like, who is this for?
This event is for the underlying theme of this event is always going to be learning the value of metabolic health through ketosis. So that's the underlying theme. But the event is for anybody who is interested in learning more about improving their health. And that always starts with metabolic health, but it branches out into other areas. So if you have an interest in improving your sleep, if you want to know what is all the talk about red light therapy, why is sauna so important, what is a cold plunge, we're hoping we're this close to finalizing things, but we're hoping to have a cold plunge therapy experience at the event. So if you're looking for nutrition, you're looking to understand what's all the talk about biohacking, if you're looking for fitness, if you're an endurance athlete, if you are looking to understand the carnivore diet or oxalates, any of these things that you and I talk about every day, there will be something there for you. And my mission in all of this is to reach as many people as I possibly can so that they understand the importance of not only their habits, but what they put in their mouth.
Wow.
And so I guess nutrition is probably always going to be the underlying theme, if not, the ketogenic diet. I think you can reach this. I think you can reach the benefits of ketosis without a nutritional ketosis, like a nutritional ketosis protocol or macros. But it depends on what your why is, why you're doing this, and where you are in your health journey. So if you're coming off the standard American diet and you're pre-diabetic, your strategy for health improvement is going to be different than someone like myself who's been doing this for 15 years, or someone who is looking to address cancer or Alzheimer's or, serious disease. So I don't know, maybe this is too big of a dream, but I really want this event to have something for everyone. And with the underlying theme being nutrition, I feel like it's possible.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know what my expectation of these conferences was going in. I think I expected everybody to be similar to my experience. Like, they've been in the low carbohydrate ketogenic space for several years. They are training people. They do nutrition coaching. Maybe they're dietitians. They're doctors, certainly. And I remember one moment at Low Carb Denver when on one side of me is somebody who I think he was an orthopedic surgeon who is actually retired, but just learned about this stuff like 6 months ago. And he's just like curious. He's like on fire about this stuff. And on the other side of me was a veterinarian. And it's like, okay, this is interesting. This is a really diverse crowd. And I've been to these shows where there are some very big people. There's some unhealthy people there.
Yeah.
And you get a sense of like, wow, this is not just for, people that have done this for a long time. This is
Right.
not just for the experts and leaders and people that are going to be speaking on stage. This is for the masses. This is for my neighbors and everybody. Everybody can go to this and not feel like they're intimidated by all these big names and big people who've been doing this for a while. They're people that genuinely have questions. Maybe they just learned about this from a magazine cover or something and they're
Sure.
curious. And so I guess that really surprised me. So I love that that's part of your mission, to be so inclusive of so many different people.
I mean, honestly, I don't see any other way to reach that tipping point unless we do that. I think that if we only focus on the ketogenic diet, then we're only going to bring people in who want to learn about the ketogenic diet. But if we focus on all of these other elements of pillars, if you will, of health, then we will bring people in that are interested in those topics. And that's the only way to reach the masses. For every person that comes to KetoCon, I know that I will reach at least double that number. Those people that attend will all go home and touch at least one more person. So if I keep doing that every year and the reach keeps expanding, then I'm contributing to the tipping point.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's amazing. I'm just imagining that cross-pollination between the people that love cold plunges and the people that love low carbohydrate, and they're getting all of that education. It's really interesting. Again, if you've been in this world for a long time, it gets like really homogenized. We have a sauna, like everybody wears barefoot shoes. Like it's just so amazing how we keep learning and growing in this world, and that cross pollination is so important. So I love that.
Mhm.
Tell us again, what is the kind of schedule of events? What's the format? What can people expect if they're going to the event?
So we it's a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We will open each day with a panel at 9 o'clock in the morning. The vendor hall will open, the registration and check-in will open at 8:30. So we'll have about an hour of vendor floor activities until the first panel. And then we run 3 stages, actually 4 stages at KetoCon. So there's a keynote stage on the first floor of the venue that seats about 1,000 people. And then we have 3 breakout rooms upstairs. So the larger breakout rooms each hold 150 people. And there's a VIP breakout room for VIP ticket holders to have more intimate conversations with the speakers. And then all 3 days, every 40 minutes, there's a new speaker on each stage. So there'll be, when I counted yesterday, we've got a total of 70, but some of them are only speaking on panels, and there's like 6 or 7 people on a panel. There will be a panel this year for strictly addressing the carnivore diet. There will be a panel of talking about regenerative agriculture and food sourcing. So that's another piece of this conversation that I'd like to bring into the mix, because there's a lot of opposing dollars being thrown at the anti-meat campaigns. And I think people don't understand. I don't think they understand the argument. I don't think they understand the facts, because they're not being fed the facts. They're being fed, they're being fed the climate change issues. They're being fed the methane gas stuff.
Cowspiracy. It's cowspiracy stuff.
Right. I'd like to start helping people learn the truth about all this. So we have a panel discussion planned where, are you familiar with the Meat Mafia podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the episode that they hosted you on, actually.
Oh, thank you. They're really great guys. And God, they're both younger than my youngest son.
Yeah, aren't they in their 20s?
They're in their late 20s, both of them.
So jealous.
But they are
so jealous.
they are making waves. Like I'm so impressed by the work they're doing. They are going to be leading that panel, moderating that panel. And we have 3 local farmers and a food product, the Carnivore Bar. Philip Meese will be on that panel. And they're going to be talking about regenerative agriculture, the real life experience of owning a farm, the real life experience of agriculture and food sourcing. So I'm really hoping that everyone attends this, because if people have facts, they'll be able to make better decisions. That's something new about this event. So in answer to your question, we will run from 8:30 in the morning until 6 on Friday, 8:30 in the morning until 6 on Saturday, and then 8:30 in the morning till 4 on Sunday. And there will be speakers on all of those stages at any given time. If people have not purchased a ticket yet, I recommend that they purchase the virtual replay pass, which is a $50 add-on, because then you'll be able to watch all of the recorded presentations after the show. There's no way you're going to see everything.
That was going to be one of my questions. It sounds like everybody can kind of pick and choose different things to participate in, but it won't be everybody consuming everything through that time.
Yeah, there's just no way. There's no way you'll be able to do it. And you'll definitely want to spend time in the expo hall, because that's where all of the tools and technology learning takes place. You're definitely going to want to do that. And then, of course, there's coffee vendors, and Holy Cow Beef is going to be there, and they're going to be serving lamb sliders, and there's all kinds of stuff to be doing in the expo hall at the same time. So it'll be going on all 3 days like that. We're also doing this year, which we've done in the past, an entrepreneur mastermind session. So that takes place early on Saturday morning, and we'll have a panel of about 7 people. And these are either product owners or service owners. Their purpose in all of this is to share a bit about their business, why they started it, what they're doing, what their growth plans are. and then let the people in the audience who are attending this ask their questions, because I'm finding that a lot of people that come to this event are either just starting out as entrepreneurs, or they are thinking about it. And there's a lot of room for growth in this space for entrepreneurs. And I think that, lockdown encouraged a lot of that as well. People decided to start their own thing. So this gives them an opportunity to ask experienced business owners their most pressing questions. Hopefully it
Yeah.
provides a lot of value to them.
Wow. No, that's us. I mean, we started our business in July of 2020. Like we didn't know what the hell we were doing. And, we just wanted to try to find a way to continue training our people. And
Right.
it's going to be so interesting. I will definitely be there for that. I have found, with very few exceptions, that entrepreneurs are some of the kindest and most generous people that I have ever met. To combine that with being on low carbohydrate diets and carnivore diets, they're going to be even better. Like that's a mishmash of two of the greatest, most supportive groups that I personally have ever found. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm so glad that you decided to include that, because I think you're right. I think there is a groundswell that's coming. I think there's a tipping point that's coming, and there's going to be a really high value placed on people that know how to give people answers and products and services that can help them restore their health.